Good morning. Good morning, dear people. Good morning. This is Spirit Journey. Good morning, all you early birds like me. Good morning. Peace, love, and blessings to the hearer of this live stream. Good morning. Today is Monday. Hello, Monday. Monday, November 20th, 2023, and the time is 5:40 a.m. How you doing? Yes, I just had my tall glass of mineral water, well, water, filtered water, with a little bit of this, what's the name? It's a, like a black powder, shilajit, and some sea salt. Yep, try to get that minerals in my body first thing in the morning. Yeah, I have to try to drink more water. Sometimes I kind of slack a little bit later on in the day, but the first thing I do when I wake up, I have my water to stay hydrated. Yes, the weather is wow. The this It's cool outside. It's in the 40s right now, about 43 degrees Fahrenheit. And cold weather, the air is drier, and you could dehydrate in any weather, but wow. It dries out your skin, your lips, and all that. So, yeah, make sure you drink that water. So, yes, it's been a couple of days since I did a live stream in the morning. And yes, my babies are with me, my little fur babies. They're in bed with me. And we're all doing well, and their haircuts look really cute. Yeah, so what do I want to talk about today? Well, kind of inspired to do this video. I was just watching, I was recommended a video, YouTube gives recommendation. And there's a relatively new channel. I think they started their channel April of last year, 2022. And I was recommended, YouTube recommended a video, and I thought the thumbnail was very interesting. Yeah, I think I talked to you. Yes, I talked to you about it before. It was "Get Out of Babylon" um, thumbnail. It had a picture of a very modern-looking, darker-skinned black woman, and fleeing the flames. And you see the American flag over to her left. I mean, her right. And it was very interesting. I forgot about the channel. I might have just found the channel, introduced to it maybe 2 weeks ago, something like that. And I was thumbing through my recommended list a moment ago, and I found the channel again, recommendation. And it was very interesting. It had another beautiful thumbnail. It had like a profile of a woman. And it was about, um, I forget what it was entitled, but about the, religion in general, the church body. I am fascinated with their artwork. And yeah, it's just like like you see a lot of thumbnails, but this one is different. It looks as though like they might have used real models, real people, and it's like they're dressed kind of different. Some of the thumbnails dressed like in robes, things like that. Um, but it looks like artwork, like something that was made with oh watercolor. The colors are rich, rich colors, very beautiful. And I looked at, then when you scan through it, their playlist of the channel. Yeah, the name of the channel is the oh God, the housewives. Oh God, how could I forget this? Something where like the house the housewives club, something like that. Something like that. The word housewives and the club. I apologize. Should remember the exact name. Or the Spiritual Housewives Club. Um, but in scanning their channel, it looks like it's made by the same individual. Like with artwork or thumbnails, when it's done by the same person, it's the same feel of it, the same style. And it's quite beautiful artwork. And again, it looks like artwork, almost like a painting. Then it dawned on me, I wonder whether it's done by AI. Yep, AI. You tell them what you want, what type of theme, or maybe a type of make it look like it's a art, like painting. But it's quite interesting and very alluring to look at it. Yeah, I hear that it's a software that you could acquire, and you can create artwork or themes like uh, show me what uh, so and so winning a lot of money. Something, yeah, I've seen demonstrations of this technology over the internet. But I mean, I do not know whether they actually used AI to create the thumbnails. And I'm not trying to poo poo someone utilizing it, but it, it's, it's something, it just stood out to me and very alluring. And the format, like when you listen to the video, um, it's a voiceover, uh, beautiful Black American dialect way of talking. And today's video was about how, oh, I remember that they left the church, but they didn't leave God, but they left the Christian church. And they also use terms like Yeshua rather than Jesus, things like that. More seems very Old Testament theme in the names of the people. Um, yeah, so today she in voiceover style, and then they had also the visuals. Um, they had like show pictures of oh, what's that? Like I think it was, yeah, Eddie Murphy. Remember he did a thing, coming to America. They did a church scene. They had clips of that and other movies, and they showed the stereotypical Baptist heavy themed congregations, dancing, just very old school. Yeah, I used to go to church, and I I started going to, well, let's see. Well, I was baptized. I think I might have been 20 or 21. I was not raised in any religion growing up. Um, my mother actually was born into the Catholic Church. Uh, my parents' background, their parents, my parents came from, all of them came from the Caribbean. And primarily on my mother's side, they're Catholic. And my father's side, I think Episcopalian or something. Um, so, yeah, and when they married, they married in the Catholic Church. And back in those days, when my mother married my father, um, the, 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 the priest said, that they will marry them, my parents, and any children that they have, they were raised in the Catholic Church. And that's what they did. People, back in the day, they were very compliant about, they about the religious leaders. People, people back in the day respected them, and you just follow, what they say. And but by the time I'm one of 7 children, I'm the last born of a twin, and by the time they got to my parents had me and uh, my twin, um, religion was things stopped. They realized certain things were problematic, and they they stopped going. They were practical people. I don't think anything like a hatred, anything like that. Um, my mother is still a Catholic at heart. I mean, um, the Catholic Church, the members, even if they don't go to church, they still want their kids basically to go to Catholic Church. You get indoctrinated. So, so the video that I was watching today, she talked about her experience and that the pastors she felt were not balanced in the information. They were New Testament based rather than she felt more of uh, a mixture of old and new. That's what she wanted. And but I looked at the clips again. She did it as a voiceover, so as she's speaking, they're showing different videos of traditional black churches, black American churches. And I remember in my walk, I too attended some of the churches that were, excuse me, reminiscent of what they show. I mean, it was very stereotype, like in the movie Coming to America. Um, Most of the churches that I attended were more Pentecostal based. Church of God of Christ. Um, but my latter churches, you know, I stopped going to church in 2013, the end of 2013. And that was a Protestant based church. Um, it was a general that like non-denominational, but its roots were definitely um, something hinting of. I mean, it's Protestant, but with um, some. They do believe about the Holy Spirit could move in a church, but it was very casual, old school in the sense of people. Um, the the leaders and stuff wore uh, traditional, this suit and tie, and a lot of the people were Masons, and yes, a lot the guest speakers, or if the pastor was out, and I knew of the guy, the man, and I knew that the organization that he was a part of was Masonic. So these were old school people. They would be like, yeah, the pastor was a few years older than me. Oh, he could have been like 10 years older than me, actually. Um, so, yeah. So, very traditional, church traditional. Um, but I started thinking as I was watching the lady's video, the channel. Again, it's a relatively new channel. Fascinated with the thumbnails and wow. I mean, it's just going to be general talk. What I'm saying, just how I feel. How does the whole thing of religion? How does it make me feel? Um, it's really something. It seems almost like going to an attic, an old attic, and go looking through some of your belongings from when you were a younger person and things that may have been important to you. Now, I was let's see, well, I was introduced to, excuse me, Christianity. It might have been 20 or 21. And I then, I would listen to the radio, Bible radio, and it was amusing. The guys that I listened to, it was a messianic congregation, messianic. These were Jewish guys that uh, believes that Jesus is the Messiah, their Messiah, and I thought that was an interesting concept. And I listened to a lot of different programs, and yeah, old school programs, um, and so that was like in the early 1980s, and then but I didn't go to a physical church. But I was initially baptized, plunged underwater. Um, and I thought, at the time, I listened to the programs on the radio. And I was given the individual who introduced me to the religion gave me a Bible, which was really nice of that person. And a couple of years later, uh, in 87, I entered the military. And I fellowshipped on the ship. I was in the Navy. And there was some Bible study on the ship. And let's see. So this is, let's see. Yeah, once I got to my station, that was, 1988. Yeah, the latter 1988. And most of these people were old school black Christian men. Um, and it was just a traditional Bible study. Everybody there was black. Interesting that, like, the religion, Christianity is, the ship that most of the people back then in the Navy on the ship that I was on, most of the people were Caucasian. So it's interesting that with a Bible study, um, everybody was black, black American. Um, yeah, in the military, at least back then in the 1980s, um, things were socially segregated. I mean, we got along. Everybody just do the job. But it's interesting, though, how socially it was set. Um, People gravitated to who socially, who, what community you come out from. And I was raised in the Black American community, and yes, they had also a blending of Caribbean people, but we all were under, the same, lived under the same type of system. We may have eaten maybe different types of food, but we were still under the black umbrella, so to speak, black traditions. And yeah, this is what it was like. The people, they had some, I remember they had this one white Christian fellow. But it's interesting that on that ship, we had a pastor, a chaplain, their officers, um, and we had a female chaplain, a black female chaplain at that. She was in her 20s, I think. Yeah, she entered the military young. I think she served about 7 years. And yeah, I'm not going to, I was going to say something, but I don't have proof. But very interesting, the dynamics of who, the people who were under your religious leaders, so to speak. Yeah, and the chaplain served, because they're military, the chaplain served everybody's spiritual needs. So you could be of any religion, but she is there. Yeah, interesting. It was a she. She served everybody, and they would have different types of services. Um, so it was just interesting. Um, and interesting that it was a black person. Um, who else not? Yeah. So maybe a couple of months after I arrived on the ship, she was retiring from the well, I shouldn't say retire, because she was like a very young person. Um, but interesting, she had left, and funny that one day I saw someone, I forget whether they were entering the ship or leaving the ship, and had a big Bible in their hand. And he was a black man, a young black man. And I thought, oh, maybe he's the new pastor to replace the lady. But he wasn't. But we became friends, though. It was very interesting. Um, I find it interesting that it seemed like, yeah, this is back in the 1980s, like 1988 and 89 on the ship. I was, during it was those years when I was on that ship. And I find it interesting about the relationship. Like, we would, we, we, we would just like read the Bible. Um, when we got back to port in the U.S., because we were overseas, and when we got back, I was invited to their churches, and went to a church in Virginia, and it was just like old school Black American church, and they were Pentecostal in background, very Pentecostal. So everybody's jumping up and down, and you work yourself in a frenzy. They were nice. The girl that invited me, she was very, very nice, very, very nice person. And I spent the weekend. Yeah, I was on my way being processed out of the military, and it takes some time, do all the paperwork. And I had a free weekend, and she invited me, so it's really nice. But when I look at it with religion, that it I was very sincere with my faith. I believed in in the New and the Old Testament. Yeah, I embraced it, and I feel that it kept me trapped. Even before the religion, I was trapped. I was trapped socially. I was trapped in a very racialistic society. I was wondering where I fit in, even though I was a part of the black community. Um, but at the same time, because again, my background is Caribbean and not from the South. Many of the people that um, in the American trade, they were of Southern ancestry. And some of them do have, like in New York City, where I'm from, born and raised, um, do have a lot of West Indians in it. Um, but when I look at my life, okay, so from at least the age of 21 to, let's see, f- uh, early 50s, I was a member of the Christian church. And anything outside of the Bible uh, is not wanted. But I had a wake up call in all this. I even explored going to Judaism in my quest to live an ultra Christian life. And Jesus was a Jew. Jesus was not a Christian. So I thought, wow, maybe even go into Judaism because I embraced the Old Testament. I read the Old and the New, and I even like read the Protestant Bible from front to back. I read every book in that Bible. It took me about 9 months to do. So every morning I would read for I think it was 2 hours. I think it was 2 hours every day in the morning when I get up. And the whole and I even wrote notes and all that stuff. Yeah, I was it was a program. I just read it over and over again. Um, I think it like, especially when I lived in the Caribbean. I did move to the Caribbean after the military. My stay in the military, and it's the Caribbean. At least where I went to. I went to the U.S. Virgin Islands of St. Thomas. They got churches all over. That's one thing with blacks, Caribbean people in general. Church. That program called church. And there are so many churches all over. You also have Moravian, you had Catholic, you had Protestant, you had everything. Oh, you did have synagogues too. You had a synagogue in St. Thomas. I visited that one too. But the hearts of the people, it's like they're into church, but not spirituality. They're into religion, not spirituality. The lives of the people there was really something. Yeah, I was a young woman. Um, I went to many churches there, but it's really something. My mind though was closed. Um, I prayed every day. I even had like a prayer closet. And even when I left the Caribbean and came back to New York City, where I'm from, yeah, I was just continue the process. There was a break in religion for a little bit, for maybe 2 or 3 years. An incident happened to me before I left the Caribbean, and It left a nasty taste in my mouth. I didn't leave God per se. I just stopped going to church. I was trying to regroup. It took me a while. I was very upset. Then I slowly, I said, oh, Jesus is coming back soon. I should, go back to the fold. And so I started going back. Yeah, I think, yeah, in 20, yeah, I came back to religion and then I stopped again a little bit. But by 2012, yeah, I was finishing school, college at that time. No, the end of 2011, I completed my studies in college. And by the beginning of 2012, I say, God is going to come back soon. I'm finished with school now. I can really devote my time, because if Jesus comes, I want to be there with him when he takes us away. I was very revelation based, about the rapture. That was my focus. I love Genesis and the book of Revelation. Those were my two favorite books. And so my walk at that time was, okay, I'm a Christian and Jesus is coming back soon. And but also at this time in 2012, I joined a church. I even joined a ministry, but I felt stuck. It was just like going around in a circle. Um, I felt stuck. I read my word every day. I prayed every day. I prayed for other people every day. But at that time in 2012, remember, that was when Trayvon Martin got um, got shot. Remember that? 17-year-old. And he's on his way uh, home. It was drizzling outside, and he bought some snacks, and he wanted to uh, go and continue watching television with eating the snacks. I mean, I do things like that too. And he never made it. Yeah, he was just feet away from his door to get back in his home. He was visiting relatives, I think his uncle and aunt, when that tragedy happened. And it was a wake-up call for me because I have brothers and male cousins, and that could have been them, I thought. And I was reaching out. I said, I don't want this. I wanted to get in contact with my so-called black side, black American side, my African heritage side. And I felt, now I liked the church I was going to. It was just traditional, straightforward, but modern, but still a little old school. Um, we had a white pastor. The head pastor was a white man. He was nice. Um, and we had co-pastors there too, of different races. So they were eclectic church. It was fair, basic gospel, you know. But I felt stuck in it. And I say, I want more. I want to find out who I am. I wasn't finding, because my mindset was, okay, in some time in the future, hopefully in my future, Jesus will rescue me and I'll be happy ever after. But I said, well, in the meanwhile, I want to embrace um, that missing heritage, that missing African heritage. Um, and I said to myself, the end of 2013. So for a year, because almost a year, because Trayvon died in February. I think it was early February of 2012. And I said by December, I said, the last Sunday in December will be my last day of church here. And that's what happened. And I um, em- embraced this YouTuber who was on some spiritual journey herself. And I listened to her intensely all of 2014. And in the end of 2014, she came up with something. Oh, I see that sunrise will appear shortly. Yeah, the sky is 6:15. So in a half an hour more would be sunrise. I just find it fascinating this time of day. I love it. I love it, people. Um, so I was just listening to her. I don't see her anymore on the internet. I mean, she has periodically, when I go on her channel, search for her channel, I'd see if anything new is up, once in a blue moon. And so even the type of content that she puts up has changed. Yeah. She had, for all of 2014, I knew she wanted to announce something. She was building up to something. Um, she presented a book. It was just days before my birthday. Yeah, it was December 1st. And I ordered that book, and it came just before my birthday. And the paradigm shift occurred. It was very painful. Basically, that the Bible is not about an actual God, but beings, finite beings, that invaded the planet, basically, the Anunnaki. And it shook me. And I was in a daze of, I was angry, and I couldn't read all of the book. I was having a meltdown. Yes, I was. I was angry at her. I did communicate with her, and I had the opportunity to actually meet her. The name of the book is The Age of, I know, Unmasking the something, I forget. And it really shook me. We were I was programmed. I was socially programmed. And then religiously programmed for about, what was that, 30 years? That's a long time. Um, so, yeah, and so I would say, oh God, how long did it take? Yeah, I was like in a zombie for that year. And in 2015, I allowed myself, I was seeing somebody, a therapist. And this therapist um, gave me access to spiritual traditions, actually. Um, I I got accepted to an ayahuasca ceremony. Oh, yes, you heard me right. Yes, ayahuasca is a plant medicine from South America. The shamans use it, and it opens up your third eye. I had a total of 4 ceremonies. Um, it does allow you to see things. And I did see, um, and again, I saw things with my eyes closed, nothing like with my eyes open. So it was my third eye. I did see a being, 2 beings. I saw a Hindu god It was a lady with the little dot on the forehead, she was like a silvery color, and she acted really girly, really silly. And I saw this male, but I don't remember what the male looked like. But I didn't even remember that I saw a guy. I did a video right after the ceremony. When I left the ceremony, I did, because I didn't want to forget anything. And when I um, did, when I reviewed the video sometime later, I didn't even remember that I saw that being. So yeah, I did a playlist on ayahuasca, and I share my experience. I haven't done it since. So I did it all in 2015. Yeah, this was expanding my mind, this experience. What else did I do? Oh, I also attended the QHHT, Quantum Healing Hypnosis uh, Therapy, something like that. They do regression. You get hypnotized, and they uh, um, I forget the terminology. They talk you into exploring any of your past lives, and that didn't do well for me. I tried it. I think also about 4 times. Yeah, 4 times, and it cost a lot of money. And this was back in 2015 or 26. Yeah, I think 2015, and I think I could have also done it in 2016 also, and even up to 2017. Yeah, I was searching, I was searching, I was searching. It didn't do well with me. I mean, I really didn't have much of an experience with that. But briefly, the very first session I had, there was a split second when I saw something, and then it disappeared. And I thought it was just a glitch. And I felt nothing was happening. And I mean, the guy I liked the guy that was doing it. He's also from New York, Queens, New York, like myself. I like the guy. He since moved. I saw on the internet that he relocated to the West Coast, and may he be well. I really liked him. Um, it's all part of the journey, and I was disappointed that I didn't have this profound experience, that split second thing. What I will share with the thing that is for a split second, they were non-human feet that I saw. They were beautiful feet, though, but non-human, and then disappeared. And then I did have a second session with them a couple of months later, because I really wasn't satisfied. Maybe 4 months later. And he was a good sport, a relatively good sport. I liked the guy. He was um, yeah, it was fair for him to do it again. But that time, it was a split second. I saw a thatch roof cottage. I saw like the side view of this structure, and it looked like it was nighttime. Either dawn or dusk. I think it was evening hours. It was like how you see now. It was dark, like that, but it was like in between dark and light. No window. It looked like the walls were made out of mud or something. And I said, I think I see something. He said, don't tell me what you saw. Tell me what you see. I said, I think I saw something. And so he said, don't tell me what you saw. Tell me what you see. I shut down. He was being a jerk. I love the guy, regardless. But that was it. And um, other experiences, other practitioners, like I had this lady, really nice lady. Um, no experience whatsoever. No visuals. Um, but I felt like energy, like the healing process. Like she put a hand over my heart area, and then you feel this tension, and then like a release of this energy, like particles coming out from the heart chakra area. Amazing. And then the last session I had was with this guy, nice man, and I had no insight, whatever, and my legs started to feel funny. It started jumping the leg. He said it's trapped energy, but my body felt like lead. I felt like I could hardly move. My whole body felt like lead. And that basically was my experience with the hypnosis. But from like 2014, when I was that viewer of that YouTuber who had that book, she mentioned that she would meditate. So I said, let me try meditation. So I started meditating. People, this is really something. Yeah, I saw something, all right. Initially, I saw these geometric shapes. I saw like a wave, like these, like a string. Like imagine like like different layers of string, colorful string. The colors were red and green uh, strips, thin strips, and each they were divided in like narrow rectangular shapes, and in the center of each narrow rectangular shape was a dot, and it was moving like currents. And then I also saw a person, a man, the bust of a man, like from the shoulders up. And he to me, he seemed like a man from the past, far past. His features, his wearing dark colors. Never said anything, just a neutral face, not smiling, just looking straight ahead. And I was sitting down at my table, Indian style, had candles, incense, my eyes closed, and I'm experiencing this vision. I said to myself, don't get scared, you know. Um, so that basically was my experience. Yeah, then I started seeing more and more as time went on. Uh, I saw another being. Uh, I say being because it was a weird shape. It was a stick person, like it had a narrow, long, rectangular shape, and skinny, like twiggy arms, a twiggy neck and body, and long arms that almost looked like a praying mantis arms. And it seemed very shy. And it moving itself from side to side, like trying to like, who are you? Type of look at me. Again, my eyes were closed and excuse me, and I'm experiencing this. It was really interesting. Very, very interesting. Um, I said, what else? Yeah, things started changing like in 2017. Well, I didn't want to get out of bed to do my meditation. Yeah, I'm barely bad sometimes. I don't like cold floors and sit on the cold floor early morning because I wanted to do a morning meditation. So I said, and it's so typical of me, I shared this before. I said, well, if meditation is just having my eyes closed, hey, I'll do this in bed when I wake up in the morning. And that's what I started doing. And that's when I really started seeing things. Yeah, I saw many things. I don't do it as much now, actually. I think I'm actually processing everything because what I was seeing was more and more intense. Um, I started seeing people, um, and really something in my experience. I started to experience visions of other black people, Africans. In my opinion, I believe the people I was watching were from Africa itself. I saw um, a woman, um, and she seemed to be in distress. She like it was a close view, very dark. It was like an overlay, so slightly transparent um, view, like I'm looking at a screen, and it's a zoom up of classical black features, the round forehead, full lips, very beautiful. And she had it here in like it was very short, maybe an inch on top, and it was pulled back a little bit, like a cord or something was had it pulled back like 2 inches away from the hairline, and then the top was these little twists or micro braids. And she has her hands clasped together, and she's looking and she's like shaking her head, like what she's looking at is not right. I got to see this these other African-looking people, young men, two men, and it was when I saw those two men, young men, it's kind of scared me because I was seen by one of them. Now, when I have these visions and stuff, when I do my morning meditation, I'm not like saying, "Oh, I want to go or see such and such or so and so." Whatever what I see is what appears. Whatever what I see is what I see. And so I'm seeing this man, young man. I shared this before, and I'm viewing him from above, diagonally above him, uh, looking uh, to his front. And he must be watching a television or computer monitor. He was shirtless and he's sitting in some type of dark chair, cushy chair. And then he looks up all of a sudden and he gritted his teeth in rage and he grabbed a spear to attack where I was. I said to myself, "What in the world is going on?" But I'm not. I mean, I'm just like when you look at your TV. But that's what happened. And I opened my eyes and whoa, I'm not here to invade anybody's um, privacy. So I kept my eyes open to break out of it. I said, whoa, my apologies. Whoa, I'm not about that. I'm not about snooping people's privacy. Oh no, I'm not about that. I don't know who the man was. He looked like someone in his early 20s. He was a chubby, kind of thick body, but strong looking. And then I closed my eyes again, thinking I'm going to experience something else, some other channel, so to speak. No, it was still in progress, and now he's in a frenzy. So even though I opened my eyes, my I just presume my essence or whatever, what he actually sees. And I'm wondering whether this was something that he experienced before. I wonder what he actually saw. And why such violence? You know, because I'm in his room. That's what I'm in his. I think it was like a living room. It wasn't a bed. It looked like a living room area. Yeah. And then some time later, meditating. You know, some months later, meditating, and then I see another man, young man, even younger looking, modern clothes, but he had a weird hairline. I never saw a hairline like his before. And it looked as though he's at a desk. And I'm viewing him from where his hands would be at the desk, looking upward at him. And I'm like maybe 7 inches from his face. And I'm trying to take this all in, like, who's this? And then I focus on his eyes, and that's what did it. He was one of the black eye kids. You know, there's some mythology about black eye children, these children that would come and knock on your door, but they had solid black eyes like marbles, like glass, black glass. And when I saw the whole entire eyeball, you know, like there wasn't no white parts of the eye, the whole eye was solid black. I said, I'm out of here. I opened my eyes so quick because I was afraid. I mean, because I'm right there by his face, looking upward. And I'm not going to deal with anybody with eyes like that. I didn't want to startle him. I don't know what he would see. You know, but it's interesting that now if I'm being viewed as a whole body of a person, now I'm right by his hands, where his hands would be. So what is it that that person saw? The first one with the spear. I don't know. So I see that there are different worlds out there, I shouldn't say world, different realities, and that you could tap into other locations. And so my concept of religion as a result of this, I don't believe in this God to save us. It is only one, you know, a tradition. And the world is, I see through my meditation, the world is bigger than a book. And these rules, that rules. I don't believe that a God, see, God is a title. It's like the head honcho or someone who's in charge of a domain. I think that's what the word God means. Someone who's in charge of the domain of planet Earth. It is not the creator. A creator doesn't require you to cook a chicken, a goat, a cow, or blood offerings to satisfy it. The creator created it, right? And I found that like the people who do remote viewing, this channel called Farsight, they did remote viewing on the subject of these Abrahamic religions. And they were saying that some of these gods, well, I should say mythology, Greek and Roman mythology, that these were hybrid beings, earthling mixed with these beings from out there. Now, I you can't have just people on planet Earth. If it's infinite suns out there, and these suns all have planets. There's infinite amount of civilizations. Because like I had bought this in my early walk of opening my mind. I found this poster online of our solar system of the galaxy, and it had a little caption that said "You are here," and it was an arrow pointing to where our sun would be in this Milky Way. And even the information that they had below the caption of how many suns there are and this and that, they were saying there's more suns than moons, or planets, I should say. And I said, that is not true. The nature of things, there are planets or moons around each of the suns. So how could it be more suns than planets? And then I said that it's all one. Oh, I see that it's 6:40. The sun is really coming up quickly. Yeah, sun would be coming up in like 6 more minutes, people. Yeah, happy sunrise when that occurs. Just switching hands now. Yeah. People, we being lied to. We are being lied to. I took, and here I had that poster professionally done. I had it beautifully framed, and the matte edging, and this protective glass over it. Well, it's a plastic that is UV protection. Oh yeah, I went all out for this thing. Um, and I had it for a couple of years. Yeah, I think I got it for the around 2000. What year was it? Um, it could have been 2011 around. Yeah. Well, I threw it out. Yeah, when did I throw it out? It was before COVID. It was before COVID when I threw it out. Yep. Because I see, nothing makes sense. And they want to try to pass this off. The so-called scientists going to try to pass that lie. You bet there's other life out there. Because it's all like part of one system, each galaxy, that it's a pattern, a repetitive pattern with what the Milky Way looks like. So we're here, the caption said, and no other beings. People, we've been lied to, and I this world this world is big, people, and they're deceiving us, and they're deceiving the black. They're deceiving humanity, not just black people. We're under a spell, and why would a God need your attention? Like my pastor in Hawaii would say, you grow and you go. You grow and you go. Yeah. He'll give you the basics, what he understands about the Bible. Yeah, he was a old school Bible man, a native Hawaiian mix. Goodly man. He walked the walk. But it's practical. Unschooled, but old school Hawaiian man. And you grow and you go. His thing was not about controlling people, but to live a spiritual life. That was him, in my opinion. Goodly man. He passed away. We're being deceived, I think, programmed. And you better do this, you better do that. And so I look around, when I was looking at the video of that new channel that I came across that has these beautiful thumbnails that I believe is AI generated. I said, why even have this? It's like we need something to control us. And it's like, how do we break out of this? And I'm also reminded what I did yesterday. I went to Union Square, and they have they had the artists out. Yeah, I went there 2 days ago also on Saturday. Saturday they had the food vendors, and then yesterday they had the art occupy the spot. And they had a musician there playing. His music was really good. And while I was listening to the musician play, um, I met a man. He's just a little older than me. And how we got in the conversation, I had my doggies with me. And he was complimenting the dogs, and that's how we started the conversation. And he said, "Oh, uh, uh, I have dogs myself. I have a dog myself, and animals could sense people and this and that, and uh, they know that I'm a good person, something to that effect." And he even picked up my little boy, yeah, Lavender, the Pekingese, and it was an interesting conversation. Oh yeah, well he mentioned that about the dogs that, he says dogs could pick up energy. And he started talking about the energies. I said, oh, so so you would probably know about um, the metaphysics stuff. He said, yes. And our conversation really took off. He talked about Ben Carson and some of these other researchers out there. It was a pleasant conversation, and he does some meditation. He said he only does meditation maybe 5 minutes a day or something, but he likes researching the people who talk about the. He knows about the secret space program of super soldiers, and we talked a little bit about that. Um, but yeah, this is what happened, and that people are expanding. Yeah, he talked about the new Earth and things. So he knows about Dolores Cannon's work also. But yeah, how does someone who is encountering experiences about the universe, about people, and the um, what's happening today, um, what's happening in the media? People are losing their mind. Yeah, there's a takeover, all right. Yeah, he was telling about that. There's a shift going, and he believes that he's part of the first wave, like what Dolores Cannon talked about. Yeah, he's 62 years old, and he 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 realized, like, at, at a young age, when he was 6 years old, he said to himself that he doesn't belong here. He knew all the way back then about his relationship to the earth was not what they want you to believe. And then to cope, he said, I gotta, he wanted to just be like everybody else, if I can use that term. And then he had an awakening, he said, in 2012. uh, severe headaches, and he said that he had a wake up from that point. And I think he talked to I think an energy worker or something. Yeah, that's basically what he was sharing with me. So yeah, that's basically what he was saying. And I thought that was it was very interesting. And I think I shared with them some of my experience, the chakra awakening I had, uh, but started when I was still a so-called Christian. Yeah, when I was in the West Indies, I had some experiences, and post Caribbean too. Yeah, in 2012, just before 2012 hit. Oh, that's my little doggy making that noise. I apologize. Yeah, it was just before 2012. I was having a change in my whole biological system. It was quite frightening. Yeah, it lasted for a couple of years. I was experiencing severe panic anxiety attacks. I think maybe in hindsight, I think maybe it was part of this alignment. I mean, I don't know. But maybe it was part of that thing that was happening in 2012, but it happened just before. So maybe it was um, preparing itself. But honey, when 2012 hit it on, it was a roller coaster. It was quite frightening, especially actually December of 2011. It was quite frightening, my experiences. Um, but I have a better grip on it. Um, yeah, this whole process, when you're programmed, there has to be a point where it has to break. It's like a vase, and you have something valuable inside, but you have to break the vase to escape your essence to come out. This is what could have been what was happening. One thing, it was a very frightening experience. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. It was I felt I was dying. It was extremely frightening. So yeah, this is, let's see, um, 11 years later, since 2012, the beginning of 2012. Yeah, yeah, let's see. Yeah, 11 years since. And wow, who would ever thought that life would be what it is now? Yeah, we're all being tested. Oh, one thing what the man that I met yesterday said, it was just before he left. He said, because I was telling him about the anxiety attack that I was experiencing at that time in 2012. He said, he said what he does. Oh, because yeah, we talked about the distractions that's happening in the media now and all that. He says, you get like a little tiny candle, and you just hold in your arms that you are the light. He used that symbol that the candle light represents your light, and to ground yourself in all this melee, focus on your light. So no matter what is happening around you, he hit it on the head. It was really something and very insightful that just before we were to separate, because it was getting cold and I had to go back home. It was very interesting. Focus on your light. And I think that is the key thing, what's happening now. Yeah, it is a little overwhelming looking at the These videos. Yes, I am watching these videos online about this, of that happening. You know, it's to distract you and to panic you. Grab onto your light, people. Yes, I thank you, sir. Yeah, his name was, oh God, how can I forget his name? It starts with an A. Um, it's a spiritual, it's a Ariel. Yeah, his name is Ariel. And I thank you, Ariel. Yes, in all this melee, look within your light, and it will carry you to the next the next destiny, your next journey. Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ariel, for that simple yet accurate tool to use. The tool to look within and look at your light, your spiritual light inside. Yeah, I definitely don't want to be, this reincarnation wheel. Yeah, we talked about the reincarnation wheel, and he believes that this is his last journey, last cycle, I should say, his last cycle on this planet. Yeah, it doesn't make sense repeating, going over and over these lifetimes here of decay, of pain. This is not a learning school, being punished, going through this turmoil. It is like a prison, and I believe it is like the matrix. It is to suck your energy. I believe that like when I was doing my morning meditation, I saw these. I know it sounds crazy, people, but I saw these what they call insectoids. They look like one looked like a giant ant, and this other thing, the lighting color. Yeah, there was like a black ant. Another look is some light insectoid, like a feathery, but it was light in color. And I felt like I was within something. I felt I was within something. I'm looking outward, but I felt I was encased in something. Something was above my head. I think that we are enclosed in something. And sometimes you start to wake up in these little capsules. And I think that's where the Matrix, the person who made the movie The Matrix, I think they are into the metaphysical and did the meditation. Yeah, that's what I think. I was within something, and I was awakening within this thing. Now, I didn't see any glass or anything like that, but I think I felt like I was in something. And they were getting at my eyes. They didn't want me to see. And they could like move their expenditures in front of my face, and then it disappeared. You can't see it. Once they do that, I know that my being able to see them will diminish. They have that power to do that. Yeah, I believe that we're 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 attached to different things, that our minds could fly something, that we have access, that there's different channels going on at the same time. It's what our focus of attention is on. Like a TV channel. There's one television set, but honey, you can change the channel. And I think that's what's happening. Yes, so good morning, sunrise. I see that at 6:59 a.m. Yes, so sunrise uh, came a couple of minutes ago. Yes. Good morning, sunrise. Yeah. This is something else, people. When is it going to stop? What is really going on? Are different planets, do they have different things that we see? What is going on? And what is going on within these people who do the, we talked about the secret space program also. So what's that about? Really interesting. Yes, something, they're cooking something. And they want you to believe that they're probably going to do like an invasion, these spacecraft. Honey, if something could build a spacecraft and stuff, they have their limitations. They may have technology, but they're not God. They're not the creator, I should say. They are not the creator. Yeah, they may have real advanced technology. If they had that much technology, you don't need a slave. You don't need a slave. And like planet Earth, you notice it's like we act like our captors. Look at what happens to people when they go to prison or jail. What do they start to do? Oppressing one another and demanding their fellow captee do their work. Yeah, this is a big prison. There's prisons within prisons within prisons. And in the end, what happens? Well, somebody's benefiting off of our work. And I think that's what it's all about. One civilization after another oppressing us, doing these things. This stinks. Yeah, good morning, sleepyhead, my little doggy. Good morning. Yeah, they got their little haircut. And my little boy. There. Yeah, it's my little baby. Yeah, people. I don't have all the answers. But something stinks. Something stinks out there. Remember before some time ago I did a video. And when I was looking at these buildings that you see in front of me, you notice that they stand up tall. What do these things represent? A cell, a battery. You got windows. And these windows receive the energy of the sun. They're like antennas. I believe these buildings are things to gather energy, and it serves like an antenna. And it's a battery. Why would they make, see, nothing in nature is square or rectangular. Look at the trees. But why do they have these shapes? It is unnatural. It's an unnatural, even when you go to Africa and they see the people how they make their homes, what shape do they make it? Oval, dome shape. These cities are batteries, and they are designed to hold energy. You know, I was looking at Google Earth over, I think it was Friday, this past Friday. And I believe I found the apartment complex that I was living in when I moved out of Central Lahaina that got burned to a crisp. And it was a new building at the time. This was 25 years ago, 1998. Yeah, 1998. Oh, no, no. I moved in early 99. My mistake. Early 99, I moved in. Beautiful building, beautiful yard, garden. Oh, and it had a pool and a jacuzzi. Well, what happened? Well, when I got home from work, um, the first shift, the main shift, from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Um, I had a ground floor studio apartment. It was tremendously hot, tremendously hot. These things are to absorb energy like a battery. It is harnessed. Why would an architecture goes to school? Yes, it's important that the structure be strong, but the structure has to be livable. How could you live in an oven in the subtropics like Hawaii? Why would you build a structure that man could kill you that heat? Because they are they develop these civilizations just that to absorb your energy, to capture. Yeah, I couldn't stay in that apartment. I had to go. I don't remember everything what I did, but I couldn't stay in the apartment. I had to wait till later. Yeah, thank God when I had the second shift. Yeah, and get home like at 10 p.m. Yeah, yeah. A lot of the times I had the latter shift. Yeah, get home at 10 p.m. Yeah, then it was livable. Yeah, it is not livable. So why is that? All this technology, and it's not efficient. So it's always designed for something else. They design the structure that will require you to be dependent on some other aspect. You live in these buildings, you need air conditioning, or you need heating. This is not a natural system. It's unnatural. You would need to live in an environment that's conducive to the, where you are. Like not even the Eskimos, right? They none of them require electricity. Or in the desert. Look at them, people. See, you can tell true humans by their lifestyle. Whether you're all the way in Alaska, living in an igloo, there are no electricity in that igloo. They use the elements to shield them from the elements. They use the solid ice, and so the wind doesn't get you. And then they wear like leather, like the fur clothing, and they're fine. But honey, they were introduced to this so-called civilization. Civilization is an indication of the invaders to planet Earth. They are invaders to the natural order of things, and they want you completely submerged in their civilization. But they entice you with amenities. Amenities. Well, those amenities is what's keeping you in bondage. Hey, let's create the suburbs. Oh, we'll create a car for you so you can get to work and back. So now you no longer work where you live. You have to. I knew of someone that has to travel 2 hours to and from work every day. That's 4 hours travel time. And they're in a car. So it's over 100 miles there and back. That is not natural. It's not, come on. It's not natural. Your children, your family, your relatives, you all live near each other. And you help each other out to gather your food, to store your food, right? It was community. But they're forcing us in these cocoons, these apartments. You're disconnected. You know, I don't really know the people where I live. I'm being honest, people. And the fear, living like this is like a prison, like a jail cell. And you know, it's so embarrassing. But I have to admit this. Like sometimes I have to open the door to something, and when I hear someone coming, I close the door real fast because I don't want them to see inside. Is it because you're afraid? You want to protect your little space. And I was embarrassed at that reality when I did that. So if you act that way, what do you really feel about your neighbors? It's not neighborly. I've been in this apartment for almost 21 years now. Yeah, almost 21 years. I can't believe it. I remember my first day walking into the apartment, walking into the building. I remembered. I actually remember. Yeah, I was young, naive. It's amazing, this journey. Looking out here, look at everything is a square or it is not a natural shape. It isn't. It's one system dependent on something else. Now it's the computers that's dominating a lot of what I do. I talk about this. It's highly addictive. I see people walking around with phones in what they call smartphones in their hand, and some of them aren't even looking where they're going. And you have to say, no, you say, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out, because they're going to run right into me or into traffic. They want us to be zombies like this. Zombie. Mesmerized. Oh, we'll make you money. We'll make you money. You get more and more daring on your channel. Right? More and more daring. And you do anything more and more for the money. And then, boop, we got more rules now. This is one YouTuber that I was watching, and he was growing, growing, growing fast with subscribers. Then, boop, they pulled his monetization. Yeah, he was an older man. And he was making money, he said. Yeah, I could imagine with the amount of subscribers he was getting and viewership. He said he was making a living. And then this past February, see, they didn't pull, what's really interesting, see, the company that runs this, they work differently with different people. Now, some YouTubers, they pull the video. Oh, it's not in compliance, or it's whatever. Like mine, they pull my videos. And say, you're in the doghouse for 2 weeks. Well, this other YouTuber, they don't pull any of his videos. They just said, uh, you have some content that is such and such. So we're going to demonetize you. See, they're slick. They know what can hurt. They do what hurts you the most. So with him, he was rolling in money. Well, they stopped the monetization. Well, if they had a problem with the video, they would have pulled the video. But they didn't. Really something else, people. Yeah, it's a tease. It's to grab your attention. And yes, you are using money to do it. And the endorphins by when you press the like button. You notice now the YouTubers, they keep saying, press the like button, press the like button. So, they get so vicious, some of them. Yeah, because it's an addiction. The getting you to press. It's an addiction. Wow. Yeah, this civilization is how they trick us. We'll offer you X, Y, and Z, but that thing that they offer is what's going to hurt you. They're creating things for your addiction, your dependency. Dependent on cars. We're going to cut gasoline. Well, you told us to buy because it's to help us get more work done. And now you're going to cut a gasoline. You made us dependent on it. We're going to go electric. It's baloney. You're going to, we're going to control what electricity you get. And that there are people, remember the person that made an engine that utilizes water? If they're so much into the environment. They're not into the environment. Sorry, I'm moving the camera. It's not about the environment. If they were into the environment, they wouldn't have all these pollutants. They wouldn't have it. They wouldn't have the GMO. They wouldn't have these chemicals. It's like I was walking past this a poster. It's a supermarket, and they just put up new photos of people enjoying food, and had this little, I think it was a little kid, but he was in front of this bowl of cold cereal that were many colors. I'm not going to mention the name of the cereal, but you can use your imagination which one. The little round things, little circles. Excuse me. These little circles with a hole in it. And they're all different colors. Could you imagine what the amount of sugar and the additives and the excuse me, I had to say, excuse me, the artificial colors that mess up your system? Why would you give that to a little child? It's not real food. Notice people who eat those trendy foods. I know of a family that they ate all the trendy food from those commercials growing up in the 1970s. They have some health issues, uh, neurological. And I'm wondering, I believe that's what's causing some of their, like, oh, eat this. Oh, it's good for you. It ain't good for you. And they know it. They want you to become and eat to get used to eating artificial food. I cook most of my food. I do like eating out. I'll eat you know me, chicken and broccoli and brown rice. Um, but the past few months, I've been eating a protein-based diet. But I did buy some bread. Some once in a while, I um, I like bread and butter. Um, yeah, because I did tell you before that uh, my ketone levels at one point was getting too high. I did go to the hospital. They gave me an IV, a saline, 2 bags of it to normalize my blood. Yeah. So I want to be careful, because, well, it wasn't just the protein-based diet, protein fat-based diet. I did also briefly, I wanted to do a fast. I did a 3-day fast, and that uh, compromised my body. So I, I won't do, if I'm going to do a fast, just take water, drink water, um, to get out of ketose, the ketone level, lower the ketone level, and then do maybe the fast, and then monitor it daily, daily. Yeah. Um, yeah, people, they want, see, in order for us to live in this type of world, this we call civilization, they have to change your body too, your body, mind, everything, to live in this. They want you to really just be complacent, stagnant. They don't really want you to move about, and so they devise these computers. So see, the young kids are not exercising. They're just looking at the device, want to find out who's more popular, and you're just mesmerized by a little screen, especially the young kids now. They're looking at a little screen, and they're hooked on it. It's like creating their new world. I said, people, please, any parents out there who are listening to this live stream, please be careful about your little ones. Wean them off of that device, that computer device. Yeah, I say wean because I told you about the incident of the little boy who's about maybe 6 years old, 5, 6 years old, and the little mommy put the cell phone. The kid opened up the mother's little uh, belly bag, and to get the smartphone. Mommy just respectfully put it back in and zipped it, and the kid turned against the mom and started to attack her. Yes. Oh, you heard me right. I didn't just mispronounce something or exaggerate. The kid went berserk and started kicking, scratching, punching, biting, and spat too. Spat at this lady. It's an addiction, and they get these kids hooked. They love these vibrant. Yeah, they're really good with the graphics and all that. I remember in the beginning of this live stream, the YouTuber who a Christian-based channel, but they use these really creative, beautifully done thumbnails for the videos. But something is telling me that they are using AI to create these images. It is replacing you to be the artist. They just do all the work for you. Like a car does it for you. You stop walking. You just be a log. They are imprisoning you, people, to be an energy source for something else, someone else. You have a right to your own energy. And even money is a trap. Money is a burden. Money is it's a false currency. Money is a false currency. It is unnatural. The money, the paper money or the coinage is a representation of the ether. That's why they call it currency. It is an imitation of what the ether supplies. What's his name? Tesla. I think it's a Tesla. He devised an equipment that taps onto the ether to supply power. Now that's the way to go. But they got rid of him. And now look at that new guy who acquired the name Tesla to produce these vehicles. And I was told that the batteries inside of these cars, if they get submerged in salt water, boom, boom, boom. I saw over the internet last week that he's the wealthiest man on the planet. How is that these people to become the richest on the planet, 200 something billion dollars is worth? Now, how could we allow something like that that's going to put you in bond? And isn't something they want to phase out the gasoline tanks? He's the leader of electric cars. Something is up, people, and he's from South Africa. Very, it comes across real, friend, I don't know. Acquiring social media things that people are addicted to. See that? The hoarding. It's not natural, people. This is not a natural phenomenon. This is something quite serious. This new control. They come across like they're your friend. Hey, I'm just like you. I wear these type of clothes. See, I'm a good person. I don't wear those fancy suits and ties. I could wear sneakers like you and this and that. Wow. I just can't believe this is happening, but it is happening. Where do these people live? Where do they buy their food? And why this monopoly? See, this is also to show to you people that, in my opinion, this type of behavior with some of these billionaires, that it seems to me that they are not natural. They are not natural and they're not connected to the earth. They're not connected to the natural order of things. Things that are natural have curves to it. You know, it's like the lady's body has curves. Isn't that representative of the planet? It's curves, not square or rectangle. I believe what happened when I was first started meditating in 2014, those little like strings, they look like little strings moving like a current, like a wave, if you can see a wave. It was green and red with a black dot in it. I believe that what I was seeing was the energy field of the ether, what the ether looks like if you can see with your naked eye. That's what I believe. It's amazing. Amazing. When you want to live a life where you can connect to the ether, see, we're part of it. We are part of this life planet. Planet Earth is alive. Even these religions, you notice they say the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Well, it sounds like a broken relationship if you ask me. Father, Son, and Mother. Where is the mother? They eliminate the mother. And no, I'm not a woman's rights activist. But yes, I believe that women should have rights, and I believe that women were hijacked by the scripture. You need the mother, the father. You need that to be complete. I'm not saying that you have to get married, you have to have a husband, you have to have a wife. No, I'm not trying to push that. But for the natural order of things, for the animal life to perpetuate, it requires both halves, male and female. That's all I'm saying. But they're saying, hey, we don't need man and woman. We're going to clone you. See that? Rather than them just creating a new environment for the unnatural to live, they are acquiring your habitat. And that's a crime. They acquired the habitat of what we know as America. And the people that were here before these so-called civilization are perishing. And Black America is quickly in New York City perishing. That's all I see. I don't see black men wearing beautiful suits or just beautiful casuals with their wives or girlfriends and babies. I don't see that. I'm in the largest city in America, and I cannot find a black man and woman just chilling out with their babies, their children, having a nice meal together in a restaurant. I don't see that. What I do see are black men who don't know who they are, who are walking around in a stupor, saying crazy things, having screaming matches, yelling at themselves and anybody who can hear them in anguish. This is unnatural. And now we have a deluge of new people from around the world. Not just what they call Latin America, but Africa too. I don't know what African nations they're coming from. And Asia. being rammed in, and the local population is being removed. They are kicking us out. Yes, good morning, Via. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, they're pushing us out. It is the next dispensation here in New York. I'm afraid what's going to be next. I'm afraid what's going to be next. Like that man that I met yesterday by the name of Ariel. He told me, in all this chaos that you see happen around you, uh, pretend you have a candle light and, little small candle in your hand, and look at the light, the flame. You are the flame. He said, you are the light. And everything, focus on that light. You are that light. You are the light, he reminded me. When you see things start to crumble around you, remember you have light within you, your true self. And I'm very appreciative that he told me that. Yes, look inside your light. Because yes, there is going to be something happening very, very quickly within a year's time. Please, people, please grab on your humanity, whatever humanity that you have left in you. Realize that they are pulling you away from your own humanity and turning you into a robot, a Looney Tune, especially what we say in America, the people of color. Wake up, people. Wake up, especially the black family, what's left of it. Wake up. This church that they have you in for the past 400 years is not your friend. Can you learn from religion? Sure you can. There's always a little truth in everything. But it was designed for you to not think. It is designed for your destruction. And it's designed to keep you into a robotic state to believe in the so-called God. God does not need fried chicken to live on. God does not need worship to live on. God is, the true word of God. If this God is the creator, it doesn't need all those things. It doesn't need your accolades. It is. But you have beings impersonating through your ignorance, beings that crave your attention, crave your, what do you call it? We call it, when you sacrifice things, burnt offerings and things like that. Or your orgies, because it's thriving off of your energy. It needs you, and it is imprisoning you through the magic of currency/money. Money is the artificial ether. It is a system of control. And you have evil men that control it to control you. They didn't like Tesla when he learned how to tap into the ether to generate your own energy. And it created these technologies to pull us away from the family unit, the vehicle, after the war, especially after World War II. Everything seemed to happen around World War II. That's when in America they devise these new communities called suburbs for you to live in. And then have you work several hours away from home so you never see your spouse or your children, and then you wonder why the kids are acting out. They plan this. But they can make it look fancy. I love looking at these buildings. But these are cells, antennas that they use to harvest the synthetic energy. And it is focus based, this form of energy. It's not natural, it's stagnant. These large cities are like batteries. And they want you to live in these cities, these battery communities called cities in these major townships. They want you stuck here, and now they're actually telling you now they want you in the 15-minute cities, smart cities. See that smart city? I think the word smart has to do with the technology of this false energy system, and it's I think being monitored by AI, artificial intelligence. It's an animal in itself. This unnatural consciousness. It's a perverted. It's always a perversion of the truth. Yeah, the man that I met yesterday, he said he got out of the matrix. What was that in 2012? I think that's what it's all about. Getting out of the matrix is about getting away from um, this enslavement of this artificial intelligence based system of control. How do you do this? We have to find out for ourselves how to get out of this system. Yeah, there is a matrix, all right. Yeah, and they're using this computers and the new dependency on it. You know, when you're making appointments, even you have to. A lot of these companies, you have to do it online. What if you don't have a computer? Hello, 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 hello. Yeah, it was a trick, people. Yeah, they can make it really look exciting. It looked exciting, but it's your death, people. Somehow, if you can, please get out of the cities. Please get out of the cities. And please, no matter where, even if you plan to stay, hold on your humanity, the light within you, to at least get through this. Yeah, it's a new phase that they're implementing here, and it's going to be a whopper, a worldwide event. But you know, the power is you. You are who they are fighting for. They're fighting to control you. These are selfish beings. They are outside of the natural order of things, and shame on them. So, so these are my thoughts. I talked about the religion and things like that. You don't need religion. You can create your own religion. Create something that works for you. Create something that is for you, not slavery. All these Abrahamic based religions, especially, is designed to be contrary to planet Earth. It is a dead faith base. Why have faith when you can have knowledge? Why I'm going to repeat, why have faith when you can have knowledge? Have a knowledge base. If you're going to have a religion, have a knowledge based religion, not a faith based religion. Have a knowledge based religion that is designed to serve you and your family. Run from these people who bring in their religion of faith. Tell them, no, thank you. I have a knowledge based religion. I don't need faith. So I hope you enjoyed this. Uh, be careful out there. Yeah, there's a time and season for everything, but you are the true winner out there because you're priceless, and they know it. The system knows you are priceless. You are extremely valuable. You are more valuable than diamonds, than gold, than platinum. Your essence is priceless. And they're trying to harness that which is perfect. Okay? Yeah, so this is Spirit Journey. And I hope you enjoyed this live stream this Monday morning. A lot of things will be happening. And I wish you all a happy week. Yeah, this is Thanksgiving week. And yes, I do like Thanksgiving season. I do not worship pilgrims that stole and killed Indians. But I love autumn. And that, for me, autumn is the peak of its beauty. And it's about the harvest to remind us, hey, I provided you shade in the summer under the leaves, and now the season and the fruit and the harvest. And I'm going to come back and repeat the next cycle again. And I think that's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. I think of the candlelight, and you have a banquet in front of you, a banquet of your favorite meals that you cooked with your own hands. That is provides you nourishment and energy, and for you to be with loved ones. I think that's something that's beautiful to hold on to because it's about the season and not about uh, what do you call it, the alleged historical event of the pilgrims. You know, I do not worship that, but I do enjoy the concept of approaching the end of the year, bringing in your harvest, enjoy and give thanks. Give thanks in all things, right? A thankful spirit is an open spirit. And being thankful is a mechanism, I believe, for you to acquire more in life. If you are trusted with the few things and you're a good steward of these good things, you will get more. I believe that. Okay? Yes, I wish you all, if I don't do another live stream this week, I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful holiday week. Oh, and please stay away from Black Friday. Look at that. They call it Black Friday. How dare they? People, do not go out there on Black Friday. It is the source of these criminal minds of people who want to tap onto this artificial currency called money. The true currency is in the ether. They want you paper based. Even the money does not have any real value anymore. It used to be backed by gold and silver. Not anymore. They could print out money like paper, like like toilet paper. Keep on printing it more and more, and it's worth nothing. And they knew that they are a nothing burger. They are a nothing burger, and you have these fat ass people on Black Friday to run out there in these uh, mega stores for you to act like a fool on camera and to fight over uh, the latest this or that. Do not go out there and do foolishness this Black Friday. Save your money and save your. Go after Friday. If something is for you, it'll be there for you when you get there. Do not jeopardize your safety. Go order online. You can order online, people. Hello? Don't do it. They're relying on you to go out there and fight. See, they suck onto that type of energy, that negative energy. Don't do it. Stay at home. Read a good book. Be with your children, your loved ones, your pets. Wait for everything to die down. And then if you want a particular thing, go out and get it or order it online. Okay? Play it safe. Your essence is what's truly valuable and not one of these electronic games. Okay? You are the precious gift of life. I thank you again. Peace, love, joy, harmony, and favor be unto you. Until next time, okay? Bye bye.